Hello students, we discuss here next unit for semester 5 TYBSc Physical Chemistry paper 1 Chemical Thermodynamics. We know that thermodynamics is an important branch of physics actually and physical chemistry which deals with study of energy changes associated with different chemical processes. Here in physical chemistry, thermodynamics deals with study of energy changes associated with different chemical processes. Then in this topic, we discuss energy changes during solution preparation. That is when solute dissolve in solvent. In that process, that solute particle dissociate or associates or sometime remains as it is in solvent medium. That processes, that solution preparation processes undergo some energy changes, and in this topic we discuss that energy changes and that leads to effect of that energy changes on certain properties of solutions and applications of that properties of solutions for measurements of nature of solute particles. We use that thermodynamical energy changes. We discuss first what is solution. We know that solution is nothing but homogeneous mixture of two or more constituents. That constituents may be solid, may be liquid also. That constituents may be solid, may be liquid. That homogeneous mixture of two or more constituents, that is nothing but solution. Then that solutions, the constituent which is exist in a major proportion, more proportion, that is known as solvent, and constituent which exist in less proportion, that is whose amount is less, that is known as solute. For example, if we added sugar in water, then that amount of sugar is less. If we add some sugar, 1 gram, 2 gram, 3 gram in 1 liter of water, then amount of sugar is less. Then that sugar is nothing but solute, and major amount which is water, that is nothing but solvent. In solution, constituent whose concentration is major, more, that is known as solvent, and whose constituent whose concentration is less, that is known as solute. Then, based on properties of solutions, there are two properties of solutions: constitutive properties and colligative properties. Constitutive properties of solutions. First, remember what is solution. Solution consider two constituent only for understanding purpose. Solution may contain more than two constituents, but here we consider solution having two constituents, that is homogeneous mixture of two constituents, A and B we consider. Then Constitutive properties means that properties of solutions which depends on nature of solute particles, rather than their concentration. Properties which depends on only nature of solute particle, that is known as constitutive properties. And another, for example of constitutive properties is, that is conductance, refractive indices, absorptivity, that all are nothing but constitutive properties. Then second type is colligative properties. Which properties are known as colligative properties? The properties of solutions which only depends on number of solute particles, that is, which only depends on concentration of solute. The properties which only depends on number of solute particles rather than their nature, that properties are known as colligative properties. Remember that constitutive is opposite, which depends on nature rather than number, and here colligative, which depends on number rather than nature. Here then that colligative properties depends on concentration, that is number of solute particles present in the solutions. And in this topic, remember, we only study the colligative properties, that is different four type of colligative properties are here. We study one by one afterward in next session. Then there are different methods for express concentration, to measure concentration of solutions. That is, first method is molar concentration. The number of moles of solute dissolved per liter solution, that is nothing but molar concentration. Molar means number of moles. What is mole? Mole is nothing but, we know that Avogadro's number, and we know that number of particles, that number of molecules, that is mole. 1 mole of any substance is nothing but amount of that substance equal to their molecular weight in gram. Amount of any substance in gram equal to their molecular weight is nothing but 1 mole of that substance. For example, 1 mole NaCl, NaCl, Na23 plus 35.5 means 58.5 gram NaCl is nothing but 1 mole NaCl. Then NaOH 1 mole, Na23 plus O16 plus H1, that is 40 gram NaOH is nothing but 1 mole NaOH. Remember that. Then amount of that substance, molar concentration means nothing but amount moles of that substance, means 1 molar means 1 mole if dissolved in 1 liter. 0.5 mole means half mole dissolved in 1 liter of solvent. 0.1 means 0.1 mole of that substance, means if we consider NaOH, 0.1 mole means 4 gram NaOH dissolved in 1 liter of water, then that is 0.1 molar solution. That is the number of moles of solute dissolved in 1 liter of solution, that is nothing but molar concentration. Then molar concentration, molar, number of moles of solute per kg of solvent. We already told you that. Here I told you solutions may be liquid solid, or solid type also, solid type also. In case of solid type, if solid solute dissolved in solid solvent, or that solvent is measured here in kg, then number of moles of that solute dissolved added per kg of solvent, that concentration is measured as a molar concentration. Then another is a mole fraction. That is the ratio of number of moles of solute, present in a solution to the total number of moles of solvent plus solute. That is ratio of total number of moles of solute to the total number of moles present in solution, that is solute plus solvent. Suppose x1 is a mole fraction of solute, and x1 is the mole fraction of solvent, and if n1, that is the number of moles of solvent, and n2 is number of moles of solute, then mole fraction of solute x2, mole fraction of solvent is considered as x1, and mole fraction of solute in solution is considered as a x2. That x2 is equal to n2 upon n1 plus n2. n2 upon n1 plus n2. x2 is equal to n2 upon n1 plus n2. What is x2? Mole fraction of solute in a solution. What is n2? That is number of moles of that solute added in a solution. What is n1 plus n2? Mole fraction of solvent and number of moles of solvent and solute in solution, total number of moles. Therefore, that x2 is equal to n2 upon n1 plus n2. For very dilute solution, that n2 is very small, that is number of moles of solute added, that is very small. The solution is dilute. Dilute means that added solute amount is very small, means n2 is very small. Therefore, n1 plus n2 is considered as a n1. n1 plus n2 is considered as a n1 because n2 is very small, therefore negligible. And therefore, that x2 is nearly equal to n2 upon n1 for dilute solutions. Then ideal solutions. Then what are ideal solutions? Those solutions where there is no heat exchange, no heat changes involved during preparation, there is no increase or decrease in volume during solution formation, that is when solute added in added in solvent, there is no any change, heat change or volume change. If there is no any such type of change, then and all if that solution obeys all laws at all conditions, that is all all Boyle's laws, Charles laws, Raoult's laws, that all conditions, if that obeys for all conditions, then that solutions, here consider Raoult's law only. If that solution obeys Raoult's law for all temperature and pressure conditions, then that solutions are ideal solutions. But remember, no any solution is ideal practically for all temperature pressure conditions. Then non-ideal, all practically all that solutions are non-ideal solutions, opposite to all above properties, that is solutions which do not obey all above conditions, that are known as non-ideal solution. It observed that only dilute solutions approaches to ideal behavior at certain condition, very dilute solutions at certain temperature pressure conditions shows ideal behavior, and if concentration increases, that shows that ideal behavior changes to non-ideal behavior. Then here we consider here from this up to this part, this one is introductory part for thermochemical thermodynamics. Now from here we start to study the main part of this topic, that is qualitative properties, studies of qualitative properties of solutions. We discussed already what are qualitative properties. Properties which depends on number, of solute particles rather than their nature, that are known as qualitative properties. There are four important qualitative properties we discuss in this topic, that are: first is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Relative lowering of vapor pressure is important qualitative property of solution. Relative lowering of vapor pressure. Second, elevation in boiling point of solution. Elevation in boiling point. Third is diffraction in freezing point. Diffraction in freezing point of solution. And fourth one is osmotic pressure. These are four important qualitative properties. We discuss one by one afterward. Then we discuss here first qualitative property, that is lowering of vapor pressure of solvent. Thank you. We discuss this afterward for next lecture.